All right, Judicial Watch is one of those companies and programs that are really has some tenacity, and it's about time they got after Dr. Fauci. He's a con job artist and an elite.
On behalf of the Daily Caller for records pertaining to Dr. Anthony Fauci and the World Health Organization, the Department of Health and Human Services.
They're part of private corporation groups that are trying to control our media, our narrative, and our medical facilities and what they consider healthy. All of this is over control, population control, and brainwashing, frankly.
Services failed to respond to an April 1st FOIA request, Freedom of Information request, for communications Fauci had with WHO officials about the WHO in the early days of the Wuhan virus pandemic. Joining us tonight to take all of that up, Tom Fitton. He is the president of Judicial Watch. Tom, great to see you. And why do we need to know what Fauci was saying to the WHO?
Well, there are lots of reasons. First of all, it's a crisis that shut the country down, so we need to know the details of how it was handled by the government initially. But more importantly, what that corrupt agency, WHO, was telling our senior officials like Dr. Fauci, not only about coronavirus, but about China's connections to it. So we can't FOIA WHO, at least I don't think we can directly, but we can talk to or try to get documents from agencies that were talking to WHO, and that's why our client, Daily Caller News Foundation, was so smart to ask NIH for the materials. And what's troubling is they haven't given us the records. And transparency is urgent. The laws on transparency don't get revoked when an agency is busy. They need to follow the law here, and that's why we're in court.
So they're not following the law. They're not releasing those records. What are they hiding? There is no transparency. Very little transparency in the crookedness of our government and other organizations connected with our government.
Well, there are other agencies that have taken exactly that route and declared that they are too busy to follow the law, which is a stunning position for any government agency, whether it's the NIH or the Justice Department or FBI. You're experiencing, I guess, both at this particular point. What do you expect to find?
We're going to find the WHO is probably playing defense for China early on, mimicking or pushing out the narrative that China was pushing out early on. And if it misled Fauci, if it misled our top agency officials, there's got to be accountability for what went on, and we want to find the evidence here. We know what publicly was said. My guess is it was even worse privately.
I'm going to let it go at that. You can bet it's a lot worse privately. It always is. What is said publicly is always much worse privately. That's historically the way politics has been played. No difference here. You can look at this whole thing from Fox News, but pay attention to Judicial Watch and support them financially. Good day.